Hi everyone, it's Connor here from Durham Hearing Specialists. I hope you're doing well and welcome to another video, and thank you once again for leaving all your comments and questions and liking the video. If you have a question about this particular video, leave it down in the comments section below and I will do my best to answer it for you. So we've got another interesting case here. What you're going to see in this video is me using a particular type of tool which for some reason we don't see very often in these videos. And what it's called is a Rosen inserter. So you can see I'm using it here to just give me a bit of position. And what it is essentially is sort of a curved stick or a curved spike, although it's not sharp, it's actually blunt at the end. And I tend to use a Rosen inserter when there's no other option really. So the suction fails and the ear canal is too small for use of a Jobson horn or a St. Bart's hook. And the Rosen inserter is actually very, very useful. So just to give you some context here, before I hit record, I actually went in with the suction probe thinking that this would be an easy job, and clearly it's not, because the wax, it was super dry, super thick, and it was adhered to the ear canal, so it was just pretty much like putting the suction probe against a brick wall. And right at the start of the video, I don't know if you catched it, but I did go in with a Jobson horn, which is sort of a stick with a circle on the end, or a loop I should say, because it's got a hole in the middle, so it's fenestrated. But, and I'm using it here again. The Jobson horn and St. Bart's hook, they're only good if you have enough room to maneuver them in. So you can see here I've got a little bit of wax via kind of a scooping action. But the problem with that is that as you kind of scoop the front of the wax, you risk pushing it further in. And really those particular tools, just like any manual tool really, is only good if you can creep round the side or round the top and then sort of leverage the wax further out of the ear canal. If you're just kind of going at it medially, then you might just be pushing it further back, and that's happened to me a number of times where I've used a manual tool and then I've had to drag it out again with the suction. But the Rosen inserter is a very, very useful tool because it's a lot thinner, and it's you can put it in places and you can maneuver it in places where you couldn't otherwise with another tool. So just to give you some perspective, I'll hold up a Jobson horn and I'll hold up the Rosen inserter next to it. Now these are metal ones, okay, but the principle is the same. So let me give you some focus on this right here. So you can see the Jobson horn there, and this is next to it is the Rosen inserter. So this is a rather large Rosen inserter. They do come smaller than this, and the one that I'm using in the video is a plastic one, which is slightly smaller, but you can see how the Jobson horn, being a rather large loop, you would need a lot of working room there, whereas the Rosen inserter you don't. So let me just put myself back in focus again. So there we go. So essentially what I'm doing here is using the Rosen inserter to not drag the whole piece out, but just to give me a little bit of position so I can loosen the plug up so that it's ready for suction. And one of the techniques that I like to use is, if it's safe, you can actually dig the Rosen inserter into the wax just to give yourself a bit of leverage. So that's what I'm doing here. Now, there are a couple of reasons why I think the Rosen inserter isn't overly popular for earwax removal. So originally it was developed to help